Hello everybody and welcome to our Tech Tuesday tutorial number 41. Today we highlight a simple website that compares the true size of countries. So last week I had the pleasure of presenting some tech resources to K-5 social studies teachers. One of the websites that I stumbled upon during my presentation was thetruesize.com. The True Size Of is a site that lets you compare country sizes without the distortion that a 2D map projection inherently creates. You see, all maps are 2D flat representations of a 3D surface, and maps cannot be created without map projections. That's basically projecting this three-dimensional surface onto a two-dimensional surface. If you'd like to know more about it, you can see the link to Wikipedia in the video description. But the larger the surface, the more of the sphere that you're mapping, that is, the more the image gets distorted as you get closer to the edges. So for example, if you're looking at an image like this is a Miller projection of the Earth. It's one of the most common ones. You'll notice that the squares near the equator are a certain size, and they quickly get elongated as you get near the north and south poles. So this amount of space, this distance here, is the same as this distance. And what's actually kind of weird is that it's being distorted in multiple ways, not just vertically, but also horizontally, because this distance is actually a lot less than the distance in the equator because it's getting closer to the edge. So you can see kind of like on this graphic. Sorry for the resolution quality, but that's how it is on Wikipedia. So you can see that the distance between these lines is much less than it is when you get further out to the equator. Another graphic that helps explain a little bit of the distortion here on the maps is this one. Size of the dots all represent the same amount of area. Now, there have been some attempts to correct this and do a projection map that is a bit more accurate. So in this case, you could almost kind of picture this map being able to be kind of wrapped around a 3D sphere with very little gaps. And so it's an attempt to make it a bit more realistic in terms of the area. So how does this website work? Well, it's very simple actually, and it's powerful. You go over here and you pick a country that you would like to analyze. So we might say, Russia looks like it is absolutely massive. I mean, Russia's a big country, but it looks like it's the size of the United States all the way to the eastern coast of Africa, for example. So that's how big this thing is. Well, let's take a look at that. So you put in the country and then you click on it and it highlights that country, and then you can move that country around. So as we move it around, look at the shape of Russia. It changes. So it's not just size, it's not just scale, it's also the shape of it because it's been distorted by the two-dimensional. So this, as you approach the equator, you get a much more realistic sense of size and shape of that country. This is the true size and shape of Russia, and it is actually about as wide as Africa, although you wouldn't be able to tell that from here. So put it in there again, click on it, back up. That's what we think Russia is. If we've looked at maps most of our life, that's what our kids perceive Russia to be. That's how big, right? When actually it's this big. Not this big, but this big. And what's kind of cool is you can compare other countries. So we can take a look at the contiguous United States and drag that down and see, United States looks pretty big. It's clearly bigger than Brazil, right? Well, it's actually about the same size in terms of width as Brazil. And honestly, close to the same size in terms of area. Right, so give this sucker a spin. You can try out different states, different countries, and so on, move them around and compare them, drag them wherever you like, and really start getting a sense of scale. This works best if you try it with very extreme northern countries or very extreme southern countries, because that's when you really start noticing the distortion. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. In fact, why not support us and click that subscribe button? Leave a comment or an idea for a Tech Tuesday video below. Share this video with your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.